But together our lives can change as one. All this fun between us, it can never be broken. Nothing could ever break this love. Lay that body next to mine. And my darling, we can take our time. In this world, not another care. And tonight, don't wanna go anywhere. Darling, just leave on the line. I want you in my sun. Not another place I need to be other than laying down with you next to me. Best believe there's not another place I wanna run off to. Best believe I could never get enough. Oh, this love and this soul between us. Oh, that soul and that body and all your love. So lay that body next to mine. Won't you please take your time? Not another place in this world I wanna be. Won't you please turn off those lights? I want you in my side. Other than the place I wanna be, other than laying down with you next to me, other than laying down and sharing my soul in the time of my day with love, laying down with you next to me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the second installment of Live from the Moon. I'm your host, Leopard Daddy. Today we're joined in the studio with David Hobbs. How are you today?
Doing well, how are
Or
you?
tonight, rather. Good, good, good. So I first met you when you were playing with our good friend Carice's band. You were doing bass with him, a show here, in fact, one of our first shows at the Moon. Yeah, and then we kind of got to talking. I found out you had a number of other side endeavors, like most musicians, other artists as well, in the community. So yeah, and so as I pursued kind of like those leads, I found that I was a fan of your work and a lot of all around. So yeah, so you ended up playing with Carice. What other ventures kind of brought you into this realm that you're in right now as an artist in Los Angeles? Because I know Carice is doing pretty well, and he's, and you are, so.
No, he's doing great.
Yeah.
Just released his second single, working on his second video for that.
Yeah, him.
Album.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
album is coming out September something. I forget.
Yeah.
We have a show that night. Opera is actually what brought me to Los Angeles.
Okay.
Came out here for school, and that was kind of my excuse to getting in the music scene out here. I knew this was a city that I wanted to be at just because
Yeah.
of everything it offered.
Where were you previously?
Previously, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, is that where you're from?
I'm from Dallas, Texas, but I
Okay.
have a lot of family in New Mexico. My mother's
Okay.
from there, so that's
Verquena,
kind of-
right? Verquenos, that's
Yeah.
right. Verquena, yeah.
So that's kind of, in a lot of ways, home.
Yeah,
But that's where I was right before I came to LA.
nice. Lobo country.
Lobo. I went
Right
to
on.
Lobo.
Yeah, you were?
I was. No, that's
Okay.
where I went to my undergrad.
Okay, terrific.
So I enjoyed it.
Nice. And then you came out here to study in a graduate program. Where was that?
At USC.
Okay,
Kind of
awesome.
Something different than I ever expected, but it was a great opportunity.
Awesome.
And it connected me to a lot of great musicians. Well, actually, the drummer that I just played with, I met him at USC.
Okay, terrific.
And there's a lot of fantastic musicians in a number of different genres: classical, soul, more like what we were doing, straight pop, hip hop, that are
Mhm.
from that school and those programs that were really fantastic.
That's great.
Great experience.
Nice. So then you graduated and stuck around. How long have you been in the scene here?
I've been here for just over 4 years now.
Okay, great.
So I've been here a couple years after school.
Yeah.
It's really feeling like every year is like a huge step forward.
Yeah.
I really notice like, okay, I've been here a little bit longer. I know my way around a bit more. And there's a few more people calling me. There's a few more people that I'm already on their radar. I'm not having to build as many things from scratch. So
Awesome.
it's feeling good to feel more and more planted in Los Angeles.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad that you came through for that one show, because here you are tonight now doing your own program, doing your own show. Yeah, you have Breathing Machines as well as a side project, and you are the executive producer of that. Is that right? That's your whole thing?
That's pretty much all me right now.
Okay, right on.
I have some other writing collaborators I've brought on.
Okay.
And I have some other performers, some other vocalists mainly. But production-wise, it's all me. Writing, splitting it up, like I said. But that's one of my babies of trying to figure out a sound that touches on kind of what's popular in top 40, but still brings in the soul jazz elements that I like.
Yeah, true to yourself, and
opens it up. Like there's a certain part of that box that doesn't fit for me. So trying to find a way that I can touch on it and maybe make it accessible to that group, but still be very true to myself and what I want to create and put out.
Nice. I know that your faith is significant to you. Did you start singing in the church? Is that kind of the narrative? Because
I grew up singing in church.
Okay, cool.
I have a little bit different story from a lot of churchgoers who grew up singing in church. I grew up in Southern Church of Christ, so it was a cappella 4-part harmony.
Okay.
It had song leader up front, but really it wasn't so much of soloists or choir or organists or anything like that. It was really just one person up front leading the song, and then we were all singing. So I grew up used to just hearing everybody singing around me. I grew up used to if you knew the bass part, you would sing the bass part. If you knew alto or tenor, you would jump in with those. If you didn't, you just sang melody. I grew up with people all around me, including a mother who I love dearly, who weren't nailing all the parts. So there was something about that make a joyful noise that was very real, because there was people singing with that kind of energy that you just laughed with, but not necessarily nailing it. And it was kind of what's the most important part? What they have in their hearts and what they're bringing there. So I think that's carried over. I care so much more about what you're singing about and what you're trying to say and how you feel about it and how you're trying to make other people feel than just the notes and what you're playing and how you're playing it.
Right on. So when did you know then that you wanted to pursue music professionally?
I think I always kind of knew.
Okay.
I've been playing guitar pretty much my entire life.
Okay.
I picked it up and got serious again really in 4th, 5th grade and started digging back in. And even back then you start to see things that pop up of that I was really focusing on that, and that's what I was wanting. High school was especially junior year was kind of divisive. I was trying to decide am I really willing to dive into music, go to school for that, go to college for music. So I tried a lot of physics classes, calculus, all sorts of things, just to see okay, maybe there's something else. Maybe I could be a doctor or a physicist or an engineer or whatever.
Yeah. And
I just wasn't happy. There wasn't simply put calculus was one of the worst things I ever did to myself. And I learned it, got through the class, took the AP course, got the credits in college, yay, but absolutely knew, especially at the end of high school, no, I need to be making music. That's where my soul is, that's when I'm happy, and that's when I can actually add something good and powerful to the world.
Yeah. And at that point, what genre were you favoring? Because I know that you were an operatic singer, right? By vocation, is it?
So at that point, I was pretty much more of a jazz musician than anything.
Oh, okay. So vocals weren't even the focus.
Vocals were not
okay.
Especially when I was making the decision to what direction, should I even go into music? It was kind of after I decided, yes, I'm going into music. Cool, I'm going to be a bassist and a keyboardist. Got it figured out. And then it got shaken up again, and voice came into the picture, and I kind of fell in love with it, and it grew, and then it actually turned into something. And then in college is actually when it really blossomed, and I had the chances to, try opera, see opera, and explore that. So
That is
And,
awesome.
Yeah. And so when I was really making the decision, yes, I want to be a musician, I was a jazz musician more than
Okay.
anything, and a bassist more than anything.
Okay, cool. Nice, man. What have you been listening to lately?
Oh, lately, there's been actually one of my favorite artists right now is Rosalia, Spanish artist. Really fantastic. Where there's a lot of like pop, reggaeton, world music
Mhm.
type things, Afrobeat that she's doing right now. But she has this old album that's like flamenco,
Mm-hmm.
but new, just new enough.
Nuevo Flamenco?
Exactly. But just new enough to make some of the old flamenco heads upset because it was
Oh, okay.
flamenco, but she was changing things that were traditional. So it's like really
Yeah.
amazing music. So I've been listening to her and both the old and new stuff a lot.
Mhm.
Been listening to actually Monsta X, a K-pop group.
Oh, yeah.
A lot recently. And
Nice.
well, it's last but not least, Aaron Parks, a jazz
Okay.
pianist.
Yeah.
And cause he has a really cool, just kind of tonality unto himself.
Mhm.
And I like the way he because kind of taps on a couple of different like modern ways of playing jazz.
Mhm.
Kind of uses them all in his own way. And just a cool sound overall that he creates.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like, yeah, whenever you break from tradition, you're kind of being a conversation with it, and I feel like jazz really, really amplifies that. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's like a very specific break that you can hear more often than
Yeah.
read in literature, or maybe see in a painting or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love jazz for that reason. It's so, so broad.
Yeah, and it encourages you mixing all those other bits and pieces into it.
Yeah,
So
totally.
there's all just, I mean, really a very constant evolution of like wherever jazz is, and then this whole kind of ecosystem around it of different people who are like, okay, I'm playing with jazz, but like Robert Glasper with his hip hop, or
Mhm.
some of these other people who it's like more cinematic, it's more orchestral.
Okay.
Or some of my favorite people out here. There's like a young group that's kind of like in between math rock and jazz.
Okay.
So they're like, I don't know, pretty cutting edge of like wild in what they do. So I love, that's my favorite part about jazz is all the ways you can mix into it.
Yeah, totally.
Whether it's American or Latin or
Yeah.
Asian or all the different ways that different people bring like whatever is their traditional or their music or whatever that means.
Yeah.
And mix it.
Yeah, it's more of a field than a genre.
Yeah, I like that.
Right
More
on.
of a field.
Right
That's-
on.
I like that.
Well, cool, man. You mentioned the 26th is when you have a show with Carice. Is that coming up?
I think
Something like that?
he's the 18th.
Okay, well,
If
yeah.
I'm correct.
Okay, right on.
Because I'm September 26th. I know I'm in New York.
Oh, okay,
So-
right on.
And I'm pretty sure he's the week before that on a Friday.
Okay,
or
right on.
Thursday. I'm not
Nice.
positive. I know it's in my calendar. I know I have the night free.
Okay, right on.
But
What other shows do you have coming up that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to.
Because I know how some musicians, they just like, gotta play a gig.
No, I mean, I enjoy everything I do. I'm
Okay,
pretty
cool.
lucky in what
Yeah.
and how many great things I get to do.
Yeah.
I was telling Brian that earlier. It's like I hate complaining, but it's just been one opera after another.
Yeah.
But it's nothing to complain about because it's work and it's
Yeah.
art. It's like it's what I want to be doing.
Yeah, it's expression. It's good.
I'm trying to think about stuff coming up. There's a really famous operatic version of Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
That I get to do in just like another month or so.
Sweet. Where is that?
Down in Escondido, so a little bit of a drive from me.
Okay, but still, man, that'd be tight too.
No,
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
It's an opera I've had on my radar for a while, so it's a great spot to kind of dip my feet into it.
Mhm.
Trying to think about like what. Well, I mean, actually, no. I get to make my Carnegie Hall debut in New York.
Oh, cool.
Next month.
Dude, fantastic! Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What is that? What is that act?
It's September 26th.
Yeah.
There's a program I did this summer out here in Los Angeles, and they want to take one of the concerts that they did and do it up in Carnegie.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I get to be flown out there and kind of have somewhat of like a extra day and a half at the end of it, so a little bit of
Yeah.
a free vacation.
Awesome.
I'm very excited. My New York debut, my Carnegie debut. I'm like
Dude,
excited.
congratulations! I didn't know about that. I'm glad we brought
Yeah.
that up.
No, it's just happened. Like it's not. This
Yeah.
is like. I guess
You heard
my-
it here first, folks.
this is my announcement of it. Like so.
Awesome.
I haven't put it out yet.
Well, man, it was great to have you guys on the show, and a pleasure to speak with you a little bit here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I look forward to keeping up with you. Where can people find out more about your music and what you're up to?
So I keep my I keep my website well updated with all the different bits and pieces, my schedule. So that's davidhobbsmusic.com.
Okay, HOBBS.
Beat me
Yep.
to it. Appreciate it. Instagram also very active. Kind of my favorite way to keep up with people social wise.
Yeah.
So again, David Hobbs Music, HOBBS. And really, those are the two best places.
All right, cool.
So yeah. So thank you for having me out. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
totally.
it.
Yeah. All right. Take it easy, man. Thanks, folks.